Hi, welcome to my fun day. So before I get started, I want to introduce you to Vince Guaraldi, who is a jazz pianist, composer, artist, born, raised, lived most of his life right here in San Francisco. So if you don't know who Vince is, or you've heard of him, but you can't quite piece, what songs he's associated with, you'll probably recognize this one. Or perhaps this one. So those songs and a couple of other tracks have been immortalized and really symbolic with the wintertime ever since A Charlie Brown Christmas first aired on national TV in the United States in December of 1965. Now, what's probably less memorable 60 years later was the track that actually got Vince the opportunity to create this and to do other interesting projects. So in 1960, the Brazilian film Orfeu Negro, Black Orpheus, won an Academy Award for Best Foreign Film Picture. And that soundtrack was composed by Antônio Carlos Jobim and Luiz Bonfá, the legendary guitarists. Now, Vince was a big fan and aficionado of bossa nova. He played a lot of it in Cal Chater's Latin jazz ensemble, so he was a big fan. So he liked the music and he decided, hey, he wanted to put out an album of his own based on that music called Jazz Impressions of Black Orpheus. So he took the four main tracks from the movie soundtrack and played them with his trio and put them on the A side. And on the B side of the LP, he put two jazz originals or covers also, and two of his own compositions. And then to release the album, to publicize it, they came out with a 45, a single, and it had Orfeu, Samba de Orfeu, the main track from the movie, and Vince's own composition on the B-side. And they sent it out for distribution. So in the 1960s, if you are a radio DJ for a major metropolitan radio station, it was different than it is now. You were really a connoisseur of music, a tastemaker. So yes, you played what was on the charts, but you also got to play what you like, what you thought your audience would resonate with, right? And thus influencing the actual Billboard charts. So you did this because you were sent tens, maybe hundreds of singles by record labels, and you went through them and picked, what you thought would be great pieces to play. So Tony Big in radio station KROY in Sacramento got a hold of the single, and he played the A-side, Samba de Orfeu, and he dubbed the track. It was a great piece, but he was also curious. So he flipped it over to the B-side and played Vince's piece, and he really fell in love with that one. So he started playing that track a lot, and his listeners really liked it, and other radio stations started to get wind of it and started to play it as well, and it ended up spending 19 weeks on the Billboard 100 top charts, which was unprecedented for a jazz instrumental piece at that time. And in 1963, it won a Grammy Award for Best Jazz Composition. Now, that song happened to be on the air at KSFO, the radio station here in San Francisco, when the producer Lee Mendelson was driving across the Golden Gate Bridge to his studio in Burlingame, and Lee said, wow, that is the music, that's the sound I want for my upcoming documentary called A Boy Named Charlie Brown, that he was working with Charles Schulz, the animator of the Peanuts comic strip, and the rest is history. Now, the name of that track is called Cast Your Fate to the Wind, which is a pretty interesting name, given that Vince actually had to fight with his record label, Fantasy Records, to get his track on the B-side. And the DJs were also casting his fate into the wind when they started playing his song on the airwaves. So it's a really pretty song, I like it. But similar to the fact that it's on the B-side of the record, for me it was also more of a B priority track for me to study and learn and add to my repertoire, as opposed to other songs by Guaraldi and other artists that I want to learn. But that's going to change today. So today I am going to learn Cast Your Fate to the Wind. And so I have the score. I've listened to the track many, many times. I've actually spent some time listening to it with the score in front of me. So I'm by in no means going into this cold, but I've never actually sat down at the piano with the music and started playing it. So I'm going to do that today, and then I'm going to circle back with you this evening and play it for you, and we'll see how it goes. See you soon.